why I'm doing this. The things that I do for a somewhat funny intro. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin and I'm just making sure my microphone is up while I'm speaking. Today we're listening to Symbolic by the band Death off of their album Symbolic, which was released in 1995. Death, one of the most popular death metal groups, of course, of all time. I think that I've heard some of their songs before, but I gotta be honest, I don't know what I've heard from them. So I just decided to choose the first track, the title track, off of one of their more popular albums. Now, I know that when it comes to metal, I know some of you guys don't like metal in the first place. I know a lot of you guys are probably not going to like what we're probably going to hear in this song. But I want to take this video and just explain my own personal philosophy, my own personal feelings on music as a whole. I thought that this would be a good video to kind of explain that on. Ever since I was probably in high school and college, that is when I did the majority of my own musical exploration. And my own personal philosophy, my own personal mantra is that every single type of music, every single type of genre has something to offer, has something that you can learn from. Because I wanted to understand why so many people would like this. What is it that attracts people to this? And could I find myself listening to this, like on an enjoyable level? Country, as a matter of fact, I mean, I like Mr. Twitty. And I know he's cheesy and everything, but listen, I like Conway Twitty, okay? That all flows into what makes this channel so enjoyable for me. That's just how I work. You know, sometimes I know that I always say like, oh, I like this song, I love this song. It's because I've accustomed myself to so many different things that I can enjoy so many different genres, and I don't think that there's a genre as a whole that I'm against. Even if you don't enjoy it, I think you can learn from it. And for me, that's what makes me continually passionate about learning about this music, because even if I don't love it, I'm gonna at least learn something about it. And to me, knowledge is invaluable. That was a lot of talking. Let's do the song. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. You can make donations to the channel if you want, but you don't have to. You can literally just sit back and watch the video. This is Death with Symbolic. You don't need coffee this morning.
I don't mean to dwell
Come on, some of you like that. Come on, that was good. Listen, some of those riffs, I love how quickly they change pacing within the song. There's a lot of like structural changes, and some of them are abrupt, but I think that kind of works in its favor. It kind of keeps you on your toes, throws you off your feet, which is perfect for this type of music. But listen, some of those riffs, especially the ending one, bum 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 bum, while the double bass is just hammering away. That to me, that is like that's the groove that I like. Okay. Let me take you back once again. Before I talk about the song, which is fantastic, I love it. That was great. This was really good. But let me tell you once again about my personal taste. I love groove, okay? Any kind of music can groove. Some are more susceptible to the groove, but any kind of music can groove. Metal can groove. Death metal can groove. Blast beats can groove. Black metal can groove. All of it can groove. With this song, Symbolic, there's some moments in here. Like I said, I mean, I know it looks weird, and like I know I'm dancing and I'm like doing this, but like, I feel it. That's how I feel the music. You know how like, you know, most people would probably like headbang and stuff like that and windmill with their long hair and everything. Listen, I just groove. This is just like... and I think that that's one of the reasons with heavier music like this, I personally gravitate towards music like deathcore because of especially the breakdowns where the rhythm is so strong in the music. So, getting back to Death, getting back to Symbolic, some of the moments with the guitar riffs and the double bass pedals, leaving a lot of empty space for just those movements were incredibly done. I really like how they move and how they groove. The vocals by Chuck Schuldiner. I know I've heard a lot about Chuck. I know he's very well respected, and I can see why. Now, while I can't speak for his range on the growling and on the screaming, because I've only heard one song and probably something else in passing, what I like about his particular brand of vocals is that they're not necessarily deep growls like Opeth, nor are they necessarily like high screams like you would hear more so in black metal. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle where the sound is very visceral and it's very guttural without being necessarily too deep. So I think it's interesting because it kind of matches this more thrashy side of death metal. It matches the aggression and the tone that they're kind of going for, and especially more so with those sped up sections in which the higher tones are allowed to kind of peak out a little bit higher. And then of course he brings it back down a little bit for those slower moments. And to me, like I said, that's kind of where the song like really grooves. With any type of rock music especially, I love when a riff is set up. I like when a main theme is established and they bring in the drums, let it ride for a little bit. This is what I like a lot. Of course, the song progresses from here. Of course, it carries on into other riffs and other movements. But I always like when a riff is established and then it's allowed to build off of and groove off of that riff. And Chuck sounds great here. And then the music kicks it up for a little bit. Now, when it comes to like higher tempos like that in metal, I think I've told a few of you guys, I think I've told whoever's watched the videos that sometimes with the sped up parts, when it's just like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, I get bored. That's like the section where I begin to like kind of lose interest. But they are necessary, especially in certain songs. Here, it works to its benefit because it doesn't linger on that type of sound too long. The fast and frantic beating of the drums and the guitar riffs and the vocals, it works. So even though I don't necessarily like the 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, I understand its necessity and it works in certain songs. Here, I think it works. Drumming done by Gene Hoglan, incredible drumming. Like this. It took that 1 2, but instead of being 1 2 1 2 1 2, the snare's still going, but then the double bass is now taken over and keeping up that speed, just changing how the speed is done. Brings it down, gives you a break. Gallop. That's good. That's good. That. Listen to the chugging. Ooh, all that space left up on the forefront now? That's good. That's good. It's this ending section that gets me. Yeah. Smooth but gritty riffs, fantastic drumming, great vocals. I love those vocals, very throaty. And I don't know, it's good. Like I said, I mean, you either like it or you don't like it. You either like the sound or you don't like the sound. I'm cool with this. The lyrics. I don't mean to dwell, but I can't help myself when I feel the vibe and taste a memory of a time in life when years seem to stand still. Now, I was slightly following the lyrics as I was listening to the music, and I think the lyrics are actually very well written, and it's not necessarily the kind of lyrics you would necessarily associate with death metal. talking about nostalgia and talking about a time of innocence, perhaps before growing up. You know, when you're a child, when you're a kid, you see things differently. You have a certain childlike innocence that you view the world from. But at one point and at some point, that innocence is going to be lost. Not necessarily lost by, nefarious means, but just lost by, life taking its toll and growing up. You begin to see things in a different light. And here in the lyrics, he's actually talking about kind of reflecting on those innocent times and kind of going back to those days. I close my eyes and sink within myself, relive the gift of precious memories, in need of a fix called innocence. So I think a lot of us can relate in a sense that life, especially as you get older, begins to weigh down on you sometimes, You begin to feel like, I don't want to say claustrophobic, but certain things start to close in. You view the world differently, your life moves along differently than when you're a kid, and you're more carefree, at least in a certain sense. And he says that he's in need of a fix called innocence. Like he needs a fix of these memories, almost like a drug. He just wants to relive those memories and those times. And then in the next verse, he begins to think about how things changed and when things changed. He says, when did it all begin? The change to come was undetectable. The open wounds expose the importance of our innocence, a high that can never be bought or sold. So the wounds that you gain in life, the scars that you gain as you grow up, are reminders of the time when you didn't have those scars. You can never buy back youth, or you can never regain your youth. All you can do as much as possible is maintain that youth internally. On the exterior, it may not always look right, but at least interior, you can kind of work at it. I really like the inner exchange that he's having with himself. Do you remember when things seemed so eternal? Heroes were so real. Their magic frozen in time. The only way to learn is to be aware and hold on tight. I mean, these are really good lyrics. Think about when you were a kid and your heroes were real. But then when you grow up, you're like, oh, they're just normal people like us, Do you remember when things seemed so eternal? Time does not seem to move quick when you're a kid. It's just slow. It's a slog. Things seem like they'll never end. Your parents are always there. Your house is always there. Your dog is always there. Like, things are just timeless. But as you get older, time begins to, quicken up its pace a little bit, like the drums in the song. And you're like, whoa. You're trying to grab time and hold on to things. And that's why he says the only way to learn is to be aware and hold on tight. I'm just saying, the lyrics are actually really well written, especially for what I think a lot of people would assume out of this type of music. For someone that may not like the music, and I understand if you don't like the music, I'm not saying you don't like the music, but I think the lyrics would surprise a lot of people, the amount of thought and care that are put into them. Anyways, I like the song. What did you guys think about it? Let me know what you think about the song. Let me know if you want more metal on the channel, or if it wasn't your preference, but you're okay watching the video. Guys, you can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. I hope that you have a wonderful night. I hope that you have a fantastic morning and a beautiful day. Did I say beautiful? Whichever you like. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.